Welcome, everyone. Congratulations to Princeton on the victory today. We have Princeton head coach Mitch Henderson, Tosan Awoma, and Jalen Llewellyn. We'll begin, as always, with an opening statement from Coach, please.
Cornell is so good. I'm so proud of these guys. It's like sort of the worst experience ever and the best thing ever at the same time. If that makes sense to anybody in here. Brian is doing such an incredible job. I said yesterday, and I'll say it again, it's like the best kept secret on the East Coast. They're so hard to prepare for. It's so different. We just got our foot in front of them just a little bit, made some plays at the end of the game. We had charge taken, with the 6 seconds on the clock, Tosan mid, just an incredible play there. And then we were fortunate to be able to have some fouls to give. That's a really good win. We didn't come up here to win one. We came up here to win two, but we're gonna, go back to the hotel and enjoy watching this game. But that's a hell of a win.
Now we'll move to questions for our student athletes. And again, for media members, please identify yourself and your media outlet before your first question.
Kyle Franco with the Trentonian. Tosan, it seemed like you were a little out of sync in the first half. You don't often look, and you have 4 turnovers at halftime. But it seemed like you took that game over in the second half. Was it a flip of the mindset, or what did you kind of tell yourself to sort of get going?
Like Coach said, we didn't come here to just play in one game. So it's a win or go home game. We had to get it done, and I was able to make some plays in the second half, and just have unbelievable trust in my teammates, and they have the same in me, and just the constant support is just great.
Tosan, after the long review, and they changed it to 6 seconds on the shot clock, was that play drawn up for you? And obviously you made the decision to just go straight to the basket?
The play was for me to go and get the ball and then make a play, and the guys spaced really well around me, and I was able to make a play and get to the basket and score.
Wilson Kahn from the Princetonian. Jalen, you were on fire in the first half, shot 70% from the field. Do you get a sense before the game that you're about to be hot warming up, or does it just happen?
No sense. I kind of warm up the same every game. I just try and get myself as ready as I can. But, it was a good start to the game, but I was just trying to stay aggressive.
Jalen, in the 3 games you've played against them, they've all come right down to the wire. Why are they such a tough matchup for you?
I think they have a really tough offense to cover, and there's a lot to think about on the defensive end. So it's kind of like an overload for your brain a bit. And then, I think they just play us really well every time, and it's a fun game to play in.
Jalen, the way Tosan took that game over in the second half, was that an example of why he was the player of the year?
Yeah, definitely. We all of us want him to succeed as much as he does, and we just told him to push himself and keep going because we know how good he is, and no one can stop him. So we just got to keep going. We got one more.
Rob Brown, Ivy Hoops Online. So today was a neutral site game for both of you. What was it like in the atmosphere here at Levites?
I thought the atmosphere was incredible. Both fan bases turned out. They were loud. We were loud. Couldn't hear anything. The guys couldn't hear us at all. Which I said this up front, but it was amazing. I'm so happy that we were able to get out of here with a win. But I thought the atmosphere was great. Harvard's a really good host, and this is it's a great experience for the student athletes. Also, we had 7 turnovers in the first half. I forgot to mention 8 for the game. So that was the key for us.
Mitch, Richard Kent from Ivy Hoops. You've been in the league as a player and a coach for about 50 years. How unique is Tosan as an Ivy League player?
He's so different than anybody that I've ever been around and coached. Jalen, I would ask Jalen. I think it's probably just we play him with. I think what helps him is not just his talent, but the players around him, it's very difficult to help. We put him in the middle of the floor. He's an elite dribbler. He's really like a point guard. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't want to play against him at all. He's really an elite player.
I just want to say this, Rich. You do realize that you jumped higher telling them to commit the 6th foul than you did against UCLA.
Yeah, I don't know. I doubt that. I can't jump anymore.
Any other questions for our student athletes before I let them go? All right, thanks, guys. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Coach, you can just hang out for a minute. Watch your step, guys.
Careful.
Just give them a second. Yeah. We'll continue now with questions for Coach.
You guys obviously had 2 really close games with Cornell earlier in the season. Is there anything you felt like the team improved on in this game above the previous 2 matchups?
Yeah, we played without Jalen in the first game. We were very fortunate to win. We probably played our best tonight. I understand the question, but they're so good. We worked together for 6 years too. I mean, it's like every trick I have, he knows, and every trick he has. I mean, we're doing the same stuff. Really hard to guard. They're really good.
Mitch, does that feel like March Madness today?
Yeah. I thought that was incredible. I thought it was an amazing college basketball game. Yeah, it felt. What time is it? Like, I don't know. It's like,
So this is the second time you've come in as the number 1 seed, both times having a really tough time in the semifinal round. Could you speak to the parity within the league and the difficulties of playing these teams 3 times?
There's it's even. So that's what I would say. Like, we are the 1 seed, but this is an even game. We're playing the 4 seed. I was watching Richmond, Rhode Island the other night, and Rhode Island was up, and they were very easily winning the game, and then they had played the night before. That makes a big difference. So it's a really special tournament, and we're glad to be in it and glad to have won, but it's really hard. I mean, there's no advantages for anybody. I think everybody here feels like they can get it done.
You talked yesterday in college how Cornell plays, how they speed everything up, get as many possessions as possible. Does anything that they do stylistically and how you guys reacted to it today concern you about tomorrow, regardless of who gets the game?
No, it's really they are so different than anything else that we see. We spent an entire week working on just Cornell. We didn't even plan. I mean, it just requires so much because it's so different. Also, we are a really good transition offense team, but you just stop. The ball just stops. They're right there on top of you. We call it tagging, but they're just right there on you every single time. It just changes everything. What you're trying to prepare for. So very different than the other 2 teams. And I'm not concerned about it. I mean, I really didn't call any plays today, and that by design. We try to build what we have so that kind of goes on its own.
We'll take one more question.
Thanks, Mitch. Adam Zlonka with Garden State. Not only did he score that with 6 seconds on the shot clock, but in that final minute, there were a couple missed shots before the stoppages. He's tipping it back and out, and then Ethan, of course, goes in and gets that rebound. I've watched him do that for you guys all season, Ethan. What can you say about those guys keeping it alive and what that means in crunch time late in a game with high stakes like this?
This team believes that they're going to win all the time, and they get their coach to believe because they just got it. And there's a little bit of a looseness to them. I don't think we had an offensive rebound until the last 3, maybe 4 in the game. I thought Ethan's offensive rebound was like special, like epic, very typical of him. We needed. You don't come up with those rebounds, and they get the chance to win the game.
Okay, thank you, everyone. I need to let Coach go.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Thanks, Coach. Congrats.